So I ended up cutting this cutout straight, you know, from its original round shape. So what I did is I cut as minimal amount as possible, which was originally round. And so what I had to do is I had to cut straight, you know, so that I can install a flange. Because most flanges are straight, and I can't, you know, it's hard to put a round flange. So originally the shape of this was like this, but now it's straight. So I could potentially still use this board, but eventually I'm gonna have to cut out a new board that's straight. I don't know if I can glue that on or whatever, but maybe I'll try to do it just as a temporary thing. But even if I do use it, it'll still have support on that end and on that end. So I had to do it straight, and then I ended up folding these flaps a little bit further up. The other piece that came out, like scrap metal that came out from the truck, is this piece, and this piece actually works even better. So this piece I can put it up here this way, and then I can put my board on top, so it works like a flange as well. So this piece here actually works perfect as well. It's not as nice as this aluminum one. So this is what it looks like with these flanges. I had to make do with what I had, you know, so I had to cut them and space them out a little bit so that you know, each side can get a flange, which is enough to hold the weight of the board. You know, if I wanted to down the road, I can upholster this, or you know, I'll just keep an eye out for another piece like this, and then I'll just go all the way across with these flanges, because you know, just putting these flanges on looks good enough that way. So this is the piece. I cut a hole, cut a handle for the for this board here. And the other thing that I did is that I actually cut this back about, I don't know, I cut it back about this much. It was this long, and I cut it back this much, so a couple inches. I already had planned to do that because I had a couch right here, and it was easier just to be able to access a little bit more comfortably the couch here. And then I cut this little cutout here so that I can have a little bit more clearance going up and down these stairs. And then here I just kind of left it like that, you know, just so that I can tuck some stuff underneath this area here. It's just a lot of space here that I can utilize for shelving and stuff like that. Actually, this part I cut back. Instead of cutting it out from here, I cut it from the top, and then I was able to, you know, meet the corners in just a little bit. It's just a little tiny little triangle right here that's open, which, you know, it's all right. So this is the final platform of the loft. It's got the flanges and the platform here. I am planning to install some shocks, some hydraulic shocks, where I can raise it up this way, and it can stay open like that, so I have better access going up and down. So I like having this open like this because it's easier to, you know, go in and out the cabins. You know, instead of having a duct underneath here, you can just, you know, step down. So it'll be much easier where I can just push it down and have it flat, or lift it back up and so I'm getting ready to wire all of the wiring here on the loft, but there's a few thoughts that I'm coming across right now. I've already installed the clearance lights. This already came from the chassis, and then I just adapted all of the new wiring up above for the small clearance lights, the little yellow amber ones. Well, I have these three bar lights and spotlights on the front area, but they're not wired yet. One of the reasons why it's not wired yet is because I got to figure out where to wire them to. So I have to wire them to my power converter. As you can see, it's still sitting on the floor. I still haven't installed it anywhere. I do have to install it somewhere. The other thing I'm in between is I don't know if you guys recall, I had this dry rot here on this corner and on that corner over there. As you can see, you know, I removed a bunch of dry rot stuff. You know, I was thinking of actually installing this piece right here and having this there in this corner over here, and then just have all the wiring just directed to that corner onto this box. So it kind of makes sense for me to install this converter box onto this corner, since the battery, the car batteries, you know, near to the front. You know, although I will be installing auxiliary batteries, you know, some of it will actually be diverted from the car battery. But the point behind that is that you know, as you can see, this has a little cooling fan, because this thing does get hot after a while, and it led me to think about the next step is, you know, instead of covering this up with wood, you know, I was just thinking of just putting this metal crate there, and then, you know, drill a couple holes down there, and then add some ventilation to keep this box cool. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm getting ready to wire this, but before I wire that, I have to, you know, divert everything to this box, to this corner. Before that, I have to install the step ladder, and then, you know, where I can affix it permanently, affix this permanently. But before I do that, I have to do all of this filtering stuff here, and affix that permanently. I do have a couple fixtures that I got from other projects. They're kind of mixed match, but I may use them, I may not sure. You know, I got a few toggle switches here that I can potentially use for some of these the bar lights and stuff like that. So I got a couple of these I've just been collecting over, you know, over time, which those most likely are going to come in handy. This is an original dome light that was up above here, but I actually installed this little LED light here instead, because the other one used to be here, or, you know, I won't be able to install it there anymore. I did install this headliner back on, but I had to do the cutout right here, which I'm planning to, I don't know, I'm either gonna, you know, just fill this in with foam, and then just upholster it, you know, just have a gray upholster, you know, just to cover that up. Or maybe, you know, I got a little bit of room here to make little cubbies up here, you know, or that could potentially be used for you know, storing little knickknacks and items. I had also two little extra spotlights back here, which I installed them back here in this back corner, so I will be running 12 volts, you know, down to the front, onto this corner. So I'm gonna wire everything down to this corner onto this converter box here. And I'm using this fairly rigid steel mesh. You know, this is to keep kind of critters, squirrels or whatever out. And then I know this is a little redundant, but I'm using a 1-inch insulation piece of board. It's cut out with some ventilation and a little wedged out, so I can tuck it in a little bit easier, just to isolate a little bit of the noise, and then still allow some airflow through this. I actually found this in my storage. This is the black carbon fiber filter that I was telling you about. This is a filter for a range hood. When you cook, it traps all of the oils and some of the carbon and fumes from it. I know it's a hack job there, but whatever. So that's that.